Hello, loves. Welcome back to another long form video. And the theme of this video is doing a life audit on myself. So, tomorrow is my birthday, and I will be 36 years old. In my mid-30s, getting closer to approaching 40. I tend to get very reflective around my birthday. Like the entire month leading up to the day of, just really reflecting on where I've been the past year, what I've done, a lot of what I haven't done. And so I decided this year to do a life audit, and I picked several areas of my life and wrote down my thoughts on where I'm at in this place in my life and what I need to do and where I need to go from there, right? I think a lot of us are very big on personal development and self-improvement, but I'll be honest in that I feel I'm holding myself back a lot. I have so many things and dreams and goals I want to do, but I am just not doing it. So I wanted to share with you guys what I put down for my life audit, to be honest and share. And I'm sure some of you guys can relate to being in these certain spaces in your life. So here we go. So the first section I put down was pertaining to friendships. Friendships or making connections it's always been a thing for me. I've always felt like I have struggled in certain ways to make long-term fulfilling connections, and getting diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder a year ago really put a lot into perspective as to why that is. I can pick up on social cues, but I struggle to interpret them. And then once again, I crave alone time and space at times, and that can be, you need consistency to maintain a relationship. But in this past year, I've been working on being more intentional with making friends, and I don't have a best friend. I don't have someone who I talk to consistently daily about my ups and downs, my achievements, my goals. I am working on putting myself out there, which is difficult because I like to be at home and I'm a homebody. It's the thought of I pay my rent and I need to enjoy it. Also, being chronically ill, having multiple sclerosis, having Charcot-Marie-Tooth, and with the autism, also being a mental health therapist, I am in this space where I'm gauging my battery a lot of the time of what I can take on and not take on socially. Because sometimes I'll just put myself in social situations even though I don't want to, because I tell myself I have to. If I want to make friends, I have to go out, I have to participate in this thing, and then I end up not being happy and not enjoying it, right? So then I'm really not making friends because I'm not in my best place. So I'm trying to find that balance. Making friends in your 30s is definitely, we all know it gets harder as you get older, right? Friends who have families, whether it's a long-term relationship or they're engaged or married. I've had friends move away. I've moved away. It's been hard. And then, the harder part is finding the connection and then cultivating it into something greater. I've, done meetup groups, I've done BFF, like I've been ghosted, I've made connections that didn't work out. It's been tough, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a person who can feel easily discouraged. So that's also been a struggle. So I'm just telling myself to just go out at least once a month. Just go out at least once a month to a social event, to at least put myself out there. I know they say it's about consistency, going to the same event or being in a group that meets up regularly. And, I'm trying to find those spaces, but as long as I just go out and put myself out there and be my authentic self, that's all I can do. I think I do have stuff to offer and a platonic friendship, and I just have to meet the right people. So that leads to the second part, which is romance or romantic love. Not on the radar currently. I don't want to remain closed off to it. I'm working on myself. I am healing. And to be honest, I'm terrified and scared. I have a very sensitive heart, and I am sensitive to rejection, which happens when you're dating, right? You're going to be rejected. And so I'm honest with myself about that. I move a particular way. I would prefer a romantic relationship built off of a friendship, like we've already been friends for a certain amount of time. And I don't want to do dating apps. I've been hearing a lot of horror stories about how bad it is. And so I would prefer to meet people organically, which ties into the making friend bit, right? So just putting myself out there. I'm a romantic at heart. I want the Morticia Gomez type of love, like the healthy obsession. And, it's just still healing from my last long-term relationship, which was pretty painful and traumatic. And I want to believe it's still out there for me. So I don't know. We'll see. Not actively looking, but I don't want to close the door to finding my person at all. So then it goes into next part, physical health. Physical health is a sensitive topic for me. As mentioned earlier, I have multiple sclerosis or MS. I was also born with CMT or Charcot-Marie tooth. So God really did a number on me in my nervous system. I joke, I have just a messed up nervous system. And I do believe, at least with the MS, part of it was just putting my body under so much stress and having unhealed trauma. But here I am. I'm able-bodied, which I am so grateful every day for. Despite my diagnosis, two of them, that affect my nervous system and can affect my ability to walk, I'm still walking. So I never want to take that for granted, because I don't know what the future will look like. But I know I'm out of shape. I remember I was at a meetup a couple months ago, and something. So the meetup's at a park, and at the end of the meetup, the group gets up and walks around the park, and I noticed how much I was struggling just to keep up. Like I was getting winded super easily, and I was like, "Damn, I'm not in shape at all," and that's really discouraging. I pay for Pilates membership. I struggle to go because I am not a morning person, and the classes I want to go to are in the morning. I say I'll do 10K steps a day. I don't get to it. I brought Just Dance to try and find a fun way to be active. I started and then I fall off it. I just struggle with the discipline, and I struggle with making moving my body enjoyable, but I know I just have to do it, right? I just have to do it. This physical form obviously is not getting any younger, and I need to be aware of the fact that I have things. I have the MS, I have the CMT, and the more I do things now, the more it will hopefully set me up for later, and I need to just do it. And even if it's just a little bit a day. So my goal for that is just to move my body daily. Even if it's just stretching. I'm not going to set some lucrative goal of do X amount a day for these many days, because I don't want to set myself up for failure. I just need to start doing something. And my diet is okay. I'm vegan, and I've been vegan since like 2021. And I order I get these meal prep boxes called Purple Carrot, and when they give me coupons, which has been pretty regularly, so like for the past couple months I've been getting a meal prep box every week, and that's helped because I don't like grocery shopping. But yeah, I try and pick meals that are good, high in fiber, protein. I still eat processed foods from time to time, and I'm trying to give myself grace. I'm not on a whole foods, plant-based diet. It's really about me having the time and energy to cook, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Just being mindful of what I put in my body and what I consume. So, that's physical health. Financial is another sensitive topic. There's a theme here. I have this weird relationship with money, and I grew up financially stable. Both my parents were military, so I grew up middle class, right? I grew up food on the table, housed. But as I became older and became an adult, I developed this weird relationship with money. First, it was financial scarcity. Well, it still is. It just stems off financial scarcity and like not having enough or running out. I am self-employed now with my private practice, and I make enough money to live, and I'm so grateful for it. And private practice is unstable, right? It depends on if clients show up. It depends on what insurance decides to reimburse me. And so that within itself is anxiety inducing. I have debt, like I think most American people do. I have student loan debt. I have credit card debt. I have an auto loan because I got a new car last year. So I've been trying to work on navigating those, because debt just causes me to get overwhelmed and enter a freeze response. So I did take one step. I reached out to my neurologist to ask about getting my student loans discharged because I'm disabled. So we'll see, crossing fingers here. Yeah, it's just really being mindful of my money and where my money is going. I don't really have a budget. I pay my bills at the end of every month. I'm always good. I always have like money, but I don't feel like I am optimizing my money and being intentional about where my money is going, right? I'm not investing in my Roth IRA like I should, because I feel like I'm a millennial and retiring is a pipe dream, but I need to still be looking at it. I just get overwhelmed. I thought about hiring a financial advisor, probably should do that, but my brain's like, more money I gotta spend. So it's just working through the scarcity complex. Money is energy, and if I believe there's not enough, I'm going to put that energy out there. But it's hard because capitalism, right? And once again, things can change in any moment, but I need to make sure I'm setting myself up as well. So that leads into career, which, where do I even begin? So I am a mental health therapist. I'm an LPC, and I love what I do. I believe part of my journey in this lifetime is to be a light worker and help people. And I'm so grateful for being in this position. Becoming a therapist was a traumatic experience and process, from grad school to post graduation and being unlicensed and trying to struggle once again managing finances on an unlicensed therapist salary and navigating insurance and all of that. There's a lot that's happening in the world of therapy right now that's changing. Like, insurance companies are lowering reimbursement rates, and like, once again, healthcare just for the average Americans healthcare for the average American is going up and becoming higher. And so for some people, therapy is not a priority simply because they can't afford it, right? And my only income right now is my private practice. And that's a lot. As someone who has anxiety, it's kind of crazy that I rely on it as my only income. But that's because I feel tired and drained after my therapy work, that I don't feel like I have the energy to invest in other avenues, but I know I need to. Unfortunately, something that is prominent in this field is having to have a side hustle, right? So a lot of therapists, especially those in private practice who have their own private practice, may have a side hustle, whether it's a part-time job or something else to bring in income, especially if they are not married and are not relying on a partner's income as well, right? Which, that's the position I'm in. But yeah, I love therapy. I love what I do. I'm very blessed to be here, and things are changing in a way that makes me uncomfortable. I take insurance to help make me accessible, but navigating insurance companies is a pain in the ass. American insurance companies don't want to help people, and it's hard. So, like, this isn't me saying, oh, I'm gonna retire and close my practice today, but this is me thinking ahead of what else lights me up, what else can I start branching off into. And it's going to go into another section, which is the spiritual stuff. But I really need to start thinking about what I'm doing. And once again, how can I branch off without overworking myself? And that's the tricky part. So, I've said that I'm going to start doing stuff like live streaming. I am a Reiki practitioner. I got certified in Reiki level 1 and 2 this year. And I could be making some videos, doing some live streams. I've thought about doing ASMR as well. I brought a Blue Yeti mic. I just haven't done it. And that goes back to the self-discipline and being intentional, right? I'm holding my own self back for whatever reason. So, mental health. My mental health is touch and go. As mentioned, I enter a freeze response a lot of the time outside of work. And, just doom scrolling and just watching YouTube videos, which is, yes, self-care is important, but also I'm not maximizing my time, right? I freeze on the weekends. Oh, it's Monday again. I show up, do my job, see clients, and it's a cycle that repeats. And I'm tired of feeling stuck in it. I feel like if I were to put more intention into the other areas of my life I just mentioned, that it would get a little easier. mental health wise. So that leads to spirituality. So this past year has been such a development for me spiritually. I found a local spiritual teacher, and she does sound baths. She's the person that got certified through Reiki with. And I'm going to be doing a Reiki Master training and a Karuna Reiki Master training next month. So I'll become a Reiki Master. I also got certified through sound healing. And then through someone else, I'm currently getting certified to be a breathwork facilitator. And I also hope to become facilitated in doing cacao ceremonies as well. So I'm doing all the things. I'm taking all the classes. I did get an altar a few months ago, so that's exciting. I don't sit with it a whole lot, once again. So I need to be doing that more. And, I do reflect. I am introspective. But I need to also be bringing it outside of the classes as well. But spirituality is something that lights me up. If you've been following my social media, you see I've been doing oracle and tarot readings, and that's what makes me happy. That is what lights me up. Even talking about it, I feel lights me up, and I really want to hold into that more. So that leads us to hobbies, which there's the spiritual stuff once again. I've been wanting to get back into writing for so long, and I've done it a little bit. That's also a weird relationship I need to work through. And when I was younger, I used to write short stories, and then I kind of progressed into poetry, and then I kind of stopped. And then within this past year, I've been trying to a little bit more, but my inner critic is very loud. So I'm working on that. And I brought a Flow Star. I brought a Flow Star because I wanted to learn how to do flow art, but I also haven't really touched it. So it's been a lot of me being in the freeze response, and part of this journey coming into 36 is really getting out of that to start living and doing what brings me joy. Making content brings me joy, and I could do that, but that's been kind of it. Family, been trying to have better boundaries, speaking up a little bit, being intentional with family when I can, talking to them, reaching out. Really, the only person I talk with consistently is my mom. So there really wasn't much there with that. But that leaves the relationship with myself. And I'm a work in progress, right? A lot of us are. The biggest themes I struggle with is being intentional and being disciplined. I am the person that keeps saying, I'll do it tomorrow. ASMR video, I'll make it tomorrow. I'll look into this thing tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and nothing changes, right? All we have technically is today. So we tell ourselves we have tomorrow, but we experience tomorrow as today. And I'm tired of doing that. I find time is going by so quickly. Like Monday will start and I'll be like, okay, gearing up for a work week. Boom, it's the end of my work week. Okay, it's the weekend. Boom, it's Monday again. Once again, I'm turning 36. I remember turning 30. And soon, I feel like I'm going to be 40, and I don't want to be scared of getting older, number one. And I just want to really embody myself and love the person who I am and who I'm becoming. And it's been a really hard few years, stressful and traumatic, and I've been figuring things out. But there's been a lot of good. I became self-employed. I started my own private practice, which is still doing all right, like referrals slow down and clients come and go. That's the nature of the beast, right? Of owning your own private practice. I moved to an area in a city that I enjoy so much more and I feel more aligned with. I'm just trying to build a life that I've always wanted for myself. And it's messy and it's not perfect. And there's still a lot that I need to work on, but I'm doing it. And I need to remind myself of where I'm at. Like, I can name all these things, guys, that I need to work on and that I haven't been good with. But it's so important in your journey to reflect on your progress too. I have come so far, and there's still more a ways to go. And I hope that a year from now, when I'm about to turn in like another year old in this physical form, that I can have even more put down that I'm proud of. Right? I mean, but I think just being here is enough to be proud of within itself. So, cheers to 36 and what the year may bring me. And I want to share more of just, I don't know, content with you guys. Once again, doing Reiki videos, ASMR, breathwork videos. I really just want to give people a space to be and to heal, especially in these chaotic times. Because, you know, we need peace in our lives. We need places to go to where we don't have to really think too much about the outside world, and we can block it out for a little bit. So that's my goal. That's my goal with these videos. And I hope it resonates with you guys. So if you want to do a life audit on your own, right? So once again, I focused on friendships, romance, physical health, financial, career, mental health, spirituality, hobbies, family, and the relationship with myself. And write down what your thoughts are. Write down where you feel like you're at. Write down what you feel like is holding you back. And you don't have to do this around your birthday or at the beginning of the year. I've been meaning to do this to just check in with myself, because this is part of being intentional, right? But that's it. Yeah. As always, my loves, thank you for sticking around, sitting through this video, and you know, we're here to take it a day at a time, right? So, yeah, thank you for being here. And as always, my loves, I will see you in the next video.